Hi, Karina. Hi, Carol. Hi, Katie. My name is Harry, your tour guide for this tour. Hi, Cheryl. How's it going? Haven't seen you for a while. I'm in Mount Huangshan. This is a popular spot with tourists, especially group tourists. I'm going to show you one of the attractions in Mount Huangshan, which is a famous pine tree. And this location is also very close to the terminal of a cable line. So actually for me, I have been on a 3-day trip towards the end. After this attraction, I will take the cable and go down and wrap up the entire trip of Mount Huangshan. But those people here, they just came up. They're in the beginning of the tour. I believe most of them are on a day tour. And a few individual, independent tourists, they may stay over. Hi, Virginia. Good to see you again. This place is very different from other places that I have shown you on my tours in Mount Huangshan. There are a lot of people. People are gathering here. Okay, but of course we're not seeing people for this tour. It's part of the tour. And there are some beautiful pictures people are looking at. And later I will go there and show you the pictures. So before we see the famous guest welcoming or guest greeting pine tree, show you something here. This is a big piece of rock with Chinese characters written on the stone. So we may call these different inscriptions. When you visit a historical place in China, you often get to see those inscriptions of poetic Chinese sentences. And those usually were left by, originally, celebrities, famous people such as men of letters, emperors, ministers, military figures in history. It's the same thing here. Let me pinpoint maybe 2 or 3 of the writings here. We don't have to read them all through. The first one is this one here now in the middle with 5 characters in yellow. This is a small line of 5 characters, and you are supposed to read it from right to left. It says Huangshan 第一处. It literally means the number 1 or the first place in Mount Huangshan. This is actually an interpretation of Mount Huangshan from another famous quote that was composed by a famous traveler in ancient times of China called Xu Xiake, who lived in the Ming Dynasty back 400 years ago. And he once visited Mount Huangshan. And his famous quote is originally, a visit to Mount Huangshan renders visits to other 5 great mountains in China unimportant. And this now has been the main promotion tagline for Mount Huangshan. Let me repeat it again. The complete sentence is visits to 5 great mountains across China render any visit to a mountain worthless. And a visit to Mount Huangshan renders the visits to 5 great mountains unimportant. And now we are looking at the pictures. There's a noise around me from the group tour guides. Every one of them uses a loudspeaker to keep their group members in control. This is a very interesting thing. Actually, I often see group tour guides in arguments with his or her members, because those group members usually are some kind of unruly guides. They sometimes have to just shout out loud to keep them in control. And here we're looking at some of the beautiful paintings left by professional shutterbugs. I think I've been to most of those peaks in those pictures in the past 2 days. All right, there is another line. Let me show you. Another inscription. It's over there. It's the one in red. Let me zoom in. Here is the one. It's the line in red, and the writing style is a cursive style. This one was left by Chairman Mao. And you know what? Originally, what was written over there was a different sentence that sounded too revolutionary. And later they changed it into this line, but still a quote from Chairman Mao, and says, "Jiangshan roots Duojiao," which means so ingenious the country is. And actually here, Jiangshan, this phrase, for Chinese people, if you are versed in Chinese literature, you will know that this phrase sounds a bit more like a dominion instead of just a simply country. Of course, there are different words in Chinese for the concept country. But in this case, Jiangshan sounds more like a dominion. But I would say it makes sense. Actually, there's a good implication in it. How ingenious my dominion is. Not sure if people are able to read the implication from it. Here is the guest welcoming tree. People are gathering around this tree for photos. I will show you in minutes. Yeah, it's a beautiful day, Don. Hi. It's a beautiful day. It's a sunny day. Eventually, it looks like a full, bright, sunny day. And here are some old pictures. 1914, the same guest welcoming tree. And then 1929, 1935 here. Actually, in 1930s, there was a round of development in Mount Huangshan for tourism. There were roads that were built around Huangshan Mountain, which made the tourists easier to come to visit. And at that time, China was still republic. Okay, that's later, 1956, 7 years after People's Republic of China was founded. Actually, most of the founding generation Chinese state leaders have been to Mount Huangshan, except for one figure, that is Chairman Mao. I'm talking about the founding generation of Chinese state leaders. China was founded in 1949 as the People's Republic of China by the Communist Party. And this building, hi Harry, we are in Las Vegas, Nevada in the United States. Great to know. Tabitha, welcome to join my tour. Nevada, Las Vegas. Here, this building in front of me used to be a temple, a Buddhist temple, and named after a goddess. And this time, not goddess of mercy, a different goddess. Goddess mercy in Chinese is called Guanyin, not that one. And in this case, it's Wen Shu. Wen Shu, different from Guanyin, who is like in charge of compassion or mercy. Wen Shu is more related to wisdom. But now this building is a modern one used as part of the tourism service. The groups are coming in endless streams. It is 10, 11. More and more people are coming to visit. There you can see some more rocks on this side and a hotel. The name of the hotel is the Yuping Lou Hotel. Lou means tower. Yuping Tower Hotel. Yuping means a jade screen. It's also the name of a peak near here. The Jade Screen Peak. And this building, not this building, this rock, the whole rockery resembles an elephant. This is what people here interpret it into, an elephant. There's an elephant here, and later I show you on the other side there's a lion. Do you know why? Maybe you think that's a bit far-fetched, but the reason is actually because I just mentioned the goddess of wisdom, Wen Shu. And, in Chinese Buddhism, those gods and goddesses, they usually ride a steed. So for this case, Wen Shu's steed is a lion. Well, there's another goddess whose steed, I kept saying steed, whose steed is elephant. So people here just integrate two into one because they admire both the Bodhisattva of wisdom and the Bodhisattva is goddess. There you can overlook some peaks. On this side, we can see some mountain views of Mount Huangshan, and this is actually a good angle. The peak framed by those pine trees against the blue sky. In the past 2 days, I mainly saw white sky with a lot of clouds, and this is the first blue sky day. I would get a headache, so noisy. That is a lot of people. Yeah, a lot of people. This is the most popular starting point for group tourists. And usually group tourists, they are more boisterous. Yeah, they're also more excited. And I told you that oftentimes you see them in arguments with the tour guides. It's actually kind of a mutual disrespect. On one hand, the tour guides don't care about those group members as they are sometimes unruly or too noisy. On the other hand, members they don't care about the guides either. So it's a really interesting relationship. And here you can see more inscriptions, Chinese writings left by all the celebrities in history. Okay, later I'm going to move from here to the guest welcoming pine tree. I believe there are a lot of people. Let me budge my way there. Glad you are Hegel, I bet. Yes, I'm glad I'm a Hegel. I joined Hegel in October last year. I'm very glad that I made that decision. It's a great thing for me to share experience in China with you, people from all over the world who are interested in China. And also it's a great opportunity for me to practice my English. I don't use any English on my daily life. Yeah, I was a tour guide years ago, but since the COVID broke out 3 years ago, there was no tourism in China for foreign tourists, and zero actually. Of course, you can say that it's coming back a little bit, yes, since people don't have to be quarantined if they are negative. So let me move to the other rock over there, and that rock is considered a lion and an elephant. Just now I showed you a peak of a rock that resembles an elephant. You know what? Actually, the elephant rock, if you think it is far-fetched, well, the lion one, I'm really not sure about. This is the elephant one. Or maybe a turtle. It makes little sense. What about the other one? There is a lion. And the guest welcoming pine tree is located next to that big lion stone. There are two big flags. One has the symbol of the Communist Party of China on the right, and the other one on the left is the Communist Party's Youth League, which is a branch under the Communist Party for younger generations. The Communist Party Youth League. Yeah. Given how good your English is, I can't believe you are better. Has never lived outside China. Thank you, Virginia. Yeah, thank you for saying that. I think it's all about your interest. If you are interested in it, you can just do it well. Let me budge towards the guest welcoming pine tree. Huangshan pine is one of the calling cards of Mount Huangshan. And you can see beyond, there's another peak. And that peak is one of the three great peaks in Mount Huangshan. That one is Celestial Capital Peak. Celestial Capital Peak. Chinese people love their ideas of immortals, gods and goddesses. And it is believed that celestial beings may come to visit on Earth, and they dwell on that celestial capital peak. Before I get to the welcoming pine tree, since we are here, let me show you what's in this area. just to make you feel as if you were here with me as a tourist to see what's around here. People are having a snack stop. This place is only 10-minute walk from Yuping Cable Line, one of the 3 cable lines in Mount Huangshan scenic area. This cable line, as I said, is more popular with the group tourists. And this is a souvenir shop. Let's see what they have here. Fridge magnets, 28 yuan of Huangshan scenery. And these are pins, pendants, pins, 39 yuan. And these are fortune bags, very small. And there's something in the bag that smells aromatic. Aromatic fortune bags for good luck. There might be a small piece of paper inside and you can open to see what your luck turns out to be. And there are also some Buddhist themed small trinkets. Chime bell, 58 yuan. Some dolls, 79 yuan each. Oh no, these are dolls, but here these are not dolls on sale. These are thermal bottles, 79 yuan. This one is 15 yuan. It's a folder for files. 2 different patterns. This one is black, mountains, clouds, pine trees. And the other one is lighter in color. They have a creative ice cream. This is the ice cream. The imagery is a crane that stands for longevity in Chinese culture, pine trees and mountain and clouds. The price of this ice cream is 25 yuan each. All right. Is everything made in China? I'm sure, Virginia. China is the world plant. And of course, these things here in this local souvenir shop are all made in China, I'm sure. Okay, we are out for the guest welcoming pine tree. And this is a smoking area. In this small area, there are two smoking spots where people can smoke. But the thing is, the smoke actually rides a long distance on wind to people who actually stand, let's say, a few meters, even 50 meters away from them. They can still smell it. I say this because I don't smoke, and I'm quite, as a man, I'm quite squeamish to the smell of smoke. I don't do very well with the cigarette smell. Okay. A lot of old folks, and I said that I have seen a lot of young people. But now I'm in this location more popular with group tours. There are just obviously more older senior people. Yes, Tina, it's so crowded. This is the popular spot with group tourists. They just came up. They got off on a cable car and walked here in 10 and 15 minutes. They are still very excited for their trip to come in Mount Huangshan. Most group tours are on a day tour. They will go down back before the dusk. Okay, now the guest welcoming pine tree is in front of you. It stands by this big rock, which people think looks like a lion. Maybe lion is a good guardian for this tree. And actually, you know what? There's a small office here next to this rock, which is next to the pine tree. And this office is always manned. There's at least one tender who lives here 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year with this pine tree. This pine tree is actually the treasure. It's actually a state treasure of China. You find a metal painting of that tree in the great halls of people in Beijing. Sometimes when state leaders of China receive foreign state leaders in the Great People's Hall, you can see in their in the background of their meeting that painting made of metal. And here's the office. There are two offices, and one on the right is now busy with a lot of photographers. People come here to ask them for photos. It's 30 yuan each. Pay 30 yuan, you can get an 8-inch photo. Thank you, Marius and Laurie. And pay 15 yuan, you get a plate with your name inscribed on it. And pay 35 yuan, you get a lock with your name inscribed on it. In Huangshan, there are a lot of places where people can tie their lock on another bigger lock as a way for people to convey their good wishes of perennial romance with the one they love. And there are 3 plates hanging on the wall. Let's have a look. The one on the left says Huangshan Scenic Area Committee for Guest Welcoming Pine Tree under the Communist Party of China. The first headquarters, or the first branch. And the one in the middle says the Yuping area at the administration office. Yuping refers to this area of Mount Huangshan. I said it's also the name of a peak around here. And the last plate on the right, it says Chinese good man, Wu Xiaochun, his office. This is his studio, the studio of a Chinese good man called Wu Xiaochun. I haven't heard of this person's name, so maybe I need to learn about him. Why a good man? Why so special? I didn't expect that many people. I expected to see more people, but not that many. There are a lot of people. In China, there's a four-character phrase that is used to describe just how crowded it is. That is 摩肩擦踵, 摩肩擦踵, which literally means touch heels and rub shoulders. This is what's happening to me. I almost touch the heels of people in front of me, and I often get my shoulders rubbed by other people, that's for sure. Of course, there's another famous Chinese phrase also made of four characters to describe the crowdedness. That is 人山人海. It's more well known. It literally means the people, mountain, people, sea. But I think it's not yet people, mountain, people, sea. It refers to just a lot of people in a vast area. Okay, I'm getting closer to the guest welcoming pine tree. On the stone on the left side, you can see more Chinese characters inscribed on it. And the four large ones are the main inscription. And it was left by a person called Zhu De, who was the first chief commandant in the founding generation of the People's Republic of China. Zhu De, he was the chief commandant. And actually in Chinese older version of banknotes, he appears together with Chairman Mao, Zhou Enlai, and Liu Shaoqi. But in the older version of currencies, I remember when I was a child, that currency was still in use. But later it was abandoned. We don't use it anymore. It's now a collection, a collectible. And the content of the four characters says 风景如画. In this case, you read from left to right, okay? Maybe this one they adopted the modern style. And it says simply picturesque landscape. Picturesque landscape. And under the four big ones, there's a line of five characters, which says 一览众山小. And this time you read from right to left again. And it's a famous five-character phrase. It means a look from here dwarfs other mountains. This is an expression often used by Chinese people when they ascend a high mountain. Because when you are standing at the peak of high mountain, the view just dwarfs other mountains. What are we looking at here? What are we looking at here? Is the pine tree. This is a famous pine tree called guest welcoming pine tree. Just pay attention to the stature of this pine tree. It looks like a greeter standing, showing his or her arms in a hospitality manner to guests coming to visit. Can you please repeat what the characters say? Oh yes, the largest four characters over there say picturesque landscape by Zhu De, the first chief commandant of the Chinese PLA, People's Liberation Army. He was one of the important members of the Chinese founding generation. And I told you that he appeared on the older version of Chinese currency, actually banknotes, together with Chairman Mao, Zhou Enlai, and Liu Shaoqi. And the other line under it, with the 5 characters, you read from right to left. It says, "Dwarven other mountains." A glance here dwarfs other mountains, or makes other mountains small. That's right, River. Open arms hospitality. It looks like a greeter in a hotel, in a restaurant, who is bowing with the arms reaching out to say, 欢迎光临. Welcome to our establishment. When you visit a Chinese restaurant, the greeters are standing at the entrance and say 4 characters. That is 欢迎光临. It literally means welcome for your patronage. Your patronage is welcome. Okay. Have you got good views of here? Good picture postcards? Have you got it? Let me back out and move to a different location. Maybe show you this tree from a different perspective. There are just so many people. A lot of people. Voyagers, did you hear me well just now? When I was talking? I'm going to back out. I will change a different location for more postcards, if you like. Let me go up here. Maybe not. There are too many people standing up there. Let me go there. This is an image in China that is kind of on par with the image of the Great Wall. In tourism. Okay, this is the closest place I can get for this view. 稍微多一点拍照是吧 People are telling me to nudge aside for their pictures. There are ladies sitting in front of me for pictures. And you can see that pine tree has its lower branches boosted by the metal props. This tree is 800 years old. But sometimes on the internet, they tell that it's over 1,000 years old. When I've got 800 years old and 1,000 years old, I tend to be on the side of 800 years old because it sounds more humble, closer to reality, more likely, I guess. But anyway, if you round it up, it's 1,000 years old. It's easier if it is easier for you to remember. Yeah. Okay. People are giving me signals to move. All right. Have you got good postcards? I think you have. Right. Okay. Now I'm backing out. This is the symbol of Chinese hospitality, hospitable Chinese. Yeah, Elsie. I'll be careful. This tour is 45 minutes. Before I finish, let me show you the natural scenery on the other side here. And see, these are the locks I was talking about earlier. You can pay 35 yuan to buy one with your name inscribed on it and then tie it here on the metal chain here as a token that is kept kind of permanently here in Mount Huangshan. But actually, when it's full, they will replace them. You see something similar in a Chinese temple. People leave their tokens in a temple to carry their wishes. All right, here, the views. The views of nature. What heaven has left Chinese people with. Mount Huangshan. I'm going to go down soon after this tour to wrap up my trip of Huangshan. The kind of rocks in Mount Huangshan is mainly granite. They have unique joints, veins, textures. This morning I was so happy that I got a good sunrise shot. Let's have a look at the valley, and you can see a cable line. A lot of cable cars are running in both directions to take tourists in both directions. And that cable line is called Yuping Cable Line, one of the 3 cable lines for tourists in Mount Huangshan. And from here, if you don't take the cable, to go down, it takes you 2.5 hours. Where the other terminal of the cable line is, 2.5 hours on average. This is to go down. And to hike up takes longer. 3 hours to 4 hours on average. I posted a couple of Hegel versions on Facebook. Great to know. I wouldn't be able to handle all the people. It looks like a holiday, but it's actually not. It's not even a weekend. I believe this is one of the aftermath effects of the COVID regulations in China that lasted for approximately 3 years. Of course, each city or place or area in China during these 3 years saw different intensities in different times. But anyway, that was a 3 year intensity of regulations in China. People are coming out to see as much as possible if they can. I briefly fell asleep watching a sunset too. I was so angry I missed the sun coming up. Barry, so I'm not sure when you actually entered the sunset tour. That was a process. Hopefully you got some good moments of the sunset. Sorry, the sunrise. And later I would like to share a good image on the post. And if you like it, maybe you can include that picture in your album for Hegel tours. Barry. Okay, my friends, thank you for your company on this tour and on other tours I have done. From here, I will walk in 10 minutes to the cable line to go down and wrap up my Huangshan trip. It's my passion to share all the views of China with you. I love to go to the depth of Chinese people and show you a more real China as much as possible. This is what my passion lies. Okay, I would wrap up right here. Thank you for your support. I said it in Chinese. 祝你们今天愉快 And in case you are at night, 祝你们晚安 Have a good night or have a good day. Until next time, it's goodbye.